Hello and welcome back to another edition of 360 Sports. I'm your host, George Keene. To my left, we got Cadyn. To my right, Cam and Fernando. And let's get the show on the road. Where else can we possibly start? But last night with Nikola Jokic's 60-point triple-double against the Timberwolves, unfortunately, Russell Westbrook didn't let him get the win, but that's okay. Also, Steph Curry went off. He had 11 threes and scored over 50 points. Absolutely insane. He now has more 50-point games than LeBron James, which is pretty crazy considering how many fewer games he's done it in. But I want to ask, we'll start with you, Keaton. Who do you think had the more impressive night? Was it Nikola Jokic or Stephen Curry?
I'm going to go Jokic simply on the fact that he hung in there with the fully healthy Timberwolves without MPJ and Jamal Murray. So to me, that makes a 60-bomb triple-double just, you basically put the team on your back. You backpacked them. Granted, double OT had a little bit of extra breathing room to, get those buckets. But when you watch Jokic, he dictates everything. He sets the pace. You can't slow him down. You can't speed him up. And I think that's what's so impressive. He just looks like he's playing on easy mode. And yes, of course, we've seen Curry, go nuclear from downtown. So I don't know. I enjoyed Jokic doing that shorthanded for the Nuggets.
I would say Jokic too. I mean, he's a center as well. A center doesn't do what Jokic does. He doesn't rebound, he doesn't play make, he doesn't he doesn't score that like he does. It's just impressive what he can do in this league. And I mean, he was a Westbrook foul away from winning that game and single-handedly carrying that team. In my opinion, Russell Westbrook just had a brain fart moment in that.
Yeah,
so,
definitely did.
Yeah, so for me, Jokic, it was more impressive than Curry.
I'm going to say both. When you look at Curry, he had 50, 10, and 8, almost a triple-double for Curry. Put his team on the back, same as Jokic did. But at the end of the day, Curry won the game. Jokic didn't. Yeah. It's impressive what Jokic does. Obviously, like we were saying, he almost plays like a 2K rookie mode out there against. And he was against a Defense Player of the Year multiple times in Rudy Gobert. He just played his butt off. But we can't discredit what Curry did last night. Almost a 50-point triple-double, 11 threes. I mean, I thought he was going to break the record last night.
Yeah, I think we're so used to seeing Curry do this.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so far above any other great shooters we've ever seen. So when he does this, we're like, okay, it's just another Curry night. I mean, to be fair, he's had a pretty bad year, though. I mean, Curry has not been great this year.
That's tough to say. You look at it and be like, oh, yeah, he does that. That's impressive what he does.
It sort of reminds me of James Harden that one year where he was dropping 50 a night, and everyone's like, even me, I felt I was fault to this. I was like, oh, man, he dropped 50 for the first, 2 weeks. And then after that, I'm like, okay.
You get a little fatigued.
It's a Harden 60-point game. It's not that big of a deal anymore. But I mean, obviously Curry was impressive. But I gotta agree with you. As much as it pains me to say, I think Nikola Jokic had the better night. Look, I think he is the best center in the NBA right now. As a Sixers fan, I'm gonna be very humble. He's unbelievable. I think
easily.
I mean, he looks like he should be working at a McDonald's or something. But somehow, he drops 60, 10, and 10, and does it and then he gets on and he says everyone wants to doubt the fat boy. But I mean, he's unbelievable. It's as simple as that.
It is.
And the fact is that he did it. Let's not forget, he did this all without Jamal Murray.
Yeah, which is scary come playoff time. But again, you lose the game because 61, 10, and 10 is not enough for the Nuggets without Jamal. That's the crazy thing.
Well, here's the question: who's more dangerous in the West? Is it the Warriors or the Nuggets?
I don't.
That's a good
The
question.
Nuggets, I think.
I think closer.
I don't think that's.
The only reason I would say the Nuggets is because I mean,
I don't think there's anyone that can guard.
The Nuggets beat the Warriors without Jamal Murray and Jokic. That shows how much depth they have.
Yeah.
The schematics with Jokic having to scheme around defending him is so hard, especially in a 7-game series, because once you make that adjustment, then the Nuggets get to make theirs. They get to make their counter, move, and so I think that's what makes the Nuggets a stronger team in the West.
Yeah, I feel like you were saying, you can't, there's the good centers in the West, but no one compared to Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
I feel like guys can guard Curry for some points of the game, not all. But Curry in playoff time, I mean, who would you rather have come playoff time, Curry or Jokic? For me, it'd be Curry, I think, little more.
Yeah.
Just because of that experience, but obviously Nikola Jokic is
Yeah.
I just think Curry shooting, but again, like Keaton was saying, Jokic is so tough to defend, and I don't think there's one player in the West, or maybe even East, that can guard Jokic.
Yeah, I don't see Draymond Green surviving this, or Kevon Looney surviving this matchup.
Green would give him
He could make it a little tough.
But he would have to be so aggressive, and do you know how many fouls he would have to get?
I know. I'm just saying, with Curry and Butler obviously is doing very well with the Warriors. And
that's what I was going to say. I mean, they're 18-2 with Jimmy Butler.
That's crazy.
I think it really, the Nuggets have continuity, which is obviously going to be really good in the playoffs. But I think with the Warriors, we just have to see what Butler we're getting. If it's Butler in Miami, where he puts teams on his backs and takes teams that shouldn't even be in the finals to the finals, then obviously the Warriors are going to be very dangerous.
Yeah.
But moving on, there's a whole bunch of beef in the NBA right now, whether it's on the court and off the court. We'll start with the game. Obviously, Isaiah Stewart was involved. He always is. Dante DiVincenzo was throwing arms. What do you guys think about that scuffle? Is this good for the league, considering sometimes NBA ratings have been a little bit lower? Is this good for the league?
Sure, if you want to say
I think
fight.
so.
Sure,
It's fun. It's fun to watch.
It reminds me of a hockey game.
I feel like in the NBA we've kind of lost our enforcers, kind of.
Yeah.
We still have
Yeah.
Draymond, you have
sure.
the Dylan Brooks, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of strictly basketball now. So every now and then I don't see a problem with this at all. I mean, get some ratings, get some headlines. Why not?
And of course, every time the Pistons get involved, it has to be
Isaiah Stewart. Yeah.
Exactly, every time.
I know,
Yeah.
but Ron Holland, that's a rookie right there, right from
Listen.
G League Ignite, just getting into it with DiVincenzo. I didn't see that coming out of either of them.
I can't help but laugh at the Stephen A.
Well,
Smith
and
that was
picture.
funny.
And that's the bigger story, I feel like. I mean, what do you guys think? I think, obviously, much was said, starting with LeBron, confronting him on the court about Bronny. After that, it's kind of spiraled out of control. Who do you think? I mean, obviously, LeBron went on the Pat McAfee show and said, like, Giannis would drop 250 back in past eras. Do you agree with that? I mean, do you think it's just a product of the game advancing, people having, better medicine, better technology, and the players are better? Like, is that a fair statement to say? I mean, obviously, he would never drop 250.
I think this is like the stupidest debate ever.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just social media being social media at the end of the
Yeah.
day. It's an NBA player and an NBA analyst.
I wouldn't even say he's an analyst.
Yeah,
he doesn't have that much basketball knowledge.
He just yells at people. But I'm saying, like, this is just, it's cool, it's drama. Just move on.
I think that when you have somebody like LeBron James, who is arguably the GOAT of his sport, we can do MJ and all that, but when you have someone as prominent as LeBron James, and you have someone like Stephen A., who you can feel however you want to about him, but at the end of the day, he's good at his job.
He is.
Yeah.
He makes headlines, he creates clicks. So when you have LeBron James and Stephen A., kind of the top of their respective jobs or industries, it's like an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, and I think that's what makes this so dumb, is like, what is going to come of this? What is the resolution going to be? It's just, chirping, and I don't really see the significance to it.
I'll say this: like I respect Stephen A. Smith for not backing off his comments, because when you see someone LeBron go up against you, you can have the feeling of backing off and getting scared.
He posted that boxing video on Instagram.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying.
crazy.
Like,
That
I
was
respect him
crazy.
for not backing off, because that's like that shows how much guts he has.
I will say, if anyone's not following Kevin Love on Instagram, you have to. He posted
love
4
Kevin
or
Love.
5 meme videos after this. It was absolutely hilarious, so I would definitely do that.
Yeah.
But moving on, playoffs are just around the corner. There's less than 10 games left in the regular season for most teams. And obviously, every Batman needs their Robin, right? A lot of these teams have multiple stars. So we're just going to go around and talk about which player needs to be the best second option of playoffs for their team to have success. Cadyn, you're up.
All right. So, I can feel the criticism with this pick, but I chose Kawhi Leonard. You can argue James Harden could be, the Batman, or Kawhi could be the Batman to the other one's Robin. But as of now, I think that because James Harden has been playing most of the games, I think he's at like 72 games played, which is pretty good for James Harden, an older guard.
Yeah.
I chose Kawhi to be my Robin to James Harden's Batman. And I really think that people forget how good Kawhi Leonard was and is when healthy. Frankly, he's he has 2 rings, 2 Defensive Player of the Years, some Finals MVP, I believe. So when you boil down to it, we just need Kawhi Leonard to stay healthy for the Clippers. Well, are they conference finals contenders? No. But for James Harden and Kawhi Leonard to exit the play-in at this stage in their career, that would hurt their legacy, I would argue.
Yeah.
Obviously, James Harden has a little bit of a smaller legacy compared to, Kawhi Leonard, who has those rings. But you cannot afford, if you're Kawhi Leonard, to go down, get hurt, and then have the Clippers exit. You have 3 20 points per game scorers on the Clippers. You got to win a play-in series. You got to get to the first round and give a team some fight. We've seen Kawhi Leonard stop a lot of basketball players. We have not seen any basketball players stop a healthy Kawhi Leonard. So I just want to see that. It's good for the game of basketball, and that's all.
I actually like your take
I do.
because Kawhi Leonard is we've seen it lately. He can't stay healthy. He just can't.
But here's a quick thing. Clippers are in the play-in tournament. If they can win that first game, they're the number 8 seed, so they play the 7. If they win that, the Rockets are the 2 seed. And I'm not going to lie to you, I might take the Clippers in that series.
George,
I don't think that's
George,
ridiculous to
George,
say.
in fact, they might not even have to do the play-in at all. That's how close
They're not,
it is.
yeah, they're not far back at all, but
Yeah, so like this team is dangerous, right? In my opinion.
Especially with James Harden at the helm too.
Yeah, and he's playing
Just
much
stay
better.
healthy. Just give your team a chance.
And
That's all
Norman
I'm
Powell
asking
is
for.
he's playing really well.
He's
as
the
well.
leading scorer with
Yeah,
a team
that's
of
what I'm
James
saying,
Harden.
You
24?
put James Harden playing the way he is.
He's shooting
Kawhi Leonard
43%,
staying healthy, and then
yeah.
Norman Powell doing what he does.
And you
This
have
team is
and you
dangerous.
have a good big man in Zubac who's
Yep.
not playing the worst.
Yep.
I mean,
grabs the
yeah,
boards.
yeah,
Grab
that's
like
all
20
he needs
boards
to
a game.
do.
Yeah, I don't see why this team
can't
can't
do
be
it.
dangerous.
Yep.
I agree.
What do you got, Cam?
All right.
I will say it's kind of we'll see who the bad man is in the playoffs, Harden or Leonard.
Yeah.
We'll
Going
find
to
out.
my team, when you think of the Cavs, you think of Garland, think of Mitchell, think of Jared Allen. Give me Evan Mobley.
Yep.
Just a guy that's Kenny Atkinson has unlocked. And now his stats last year at 15, 9, 3. This year averaging 18, 9, and 3. Now when you're thinking, you're like, oh, 3 points a game, that's a big difference. It's not really a big difference. Evan Mobley only had 775 points last year total. This season he's at 1,225 already with 10 games left. He can guard any position. Obviously, they brought in DeAndre Hunter to guard a Tatum or maybe a Giannis, but this guy gives me shades of a young Kevin Durant. What he can do, scoring, playmaking, defense, he can do it all. I love him, and they're gonna go far, I believe.
Time out. Did you just say shades of a young Kevin Durant?
Shades of.
Yeah,
Shades
Shades.
of
Stop.
Kevin Durant.
Shades.
Wow.
I see it. I see the
that's
build. I see
blasphemy.
the bag.
6'11",
yes.
7'4", that can guard, he can shoot.
He can't. Mobley can shoot like Kevin. Stop.
Not
Mobley-
as better. I said shades. I
If
didn't
I'm
say
a
Kevin
coach,
Durant.
if I'm a coach, I'm leaving Mobley open the
That's
entire game.
fine.
And if he beats me, then I'm gonna go to sleep fine at night.
But
I'm just saying.
You don't want that man to be open for 3. I'll give you that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I might.
Yeah, he's one of
That's
those
fine.
players that can be
Leave
hard to
him
defend.
open and see what happens.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
All right, Fernando, what do you got?
All right,
I would
guys.
say if he's your second best player in the playoffs.
Well, we
it'll have me
talked about
surprised.
this
didn't
team
say second
earlier
best.
ago, and I do
Robin.
think. Let's see how Jimmy Butler is a Robin.
I like
He's
it. I
always
like
been
it.
a Batman, so now let's see how he justice as a Robin. I mean, you've seen how I've always talked about how Jimmy Butler needed to join this Warriors team because Steph Curry needed a second option because it was obvious that he can't do it on his own. He joins the Warriors, and look how the impact he made. The Warriors are 18-2 since he joined the team. When both Curry and Butler are on the in the lineup together, and also let's not forget, this man took a two Heat teams that, in my opinion, should have not made the finals to the NBA Finals and almost won them the NBA Finals. So, if this guy can go nuclear in the NBA Finals and the playoffs, this Warriors team can go all the way. Who knows?
I think this is like the biggest Robin in the NBA
Yeah.
right now. I mean, what he's done
You
since
could
the trade
argue,
deadline.
yeah.
You said 18-2. I mean, he's just. But you were saying, like, can he be okay with being a 2? But if he needs to be a 1, he will be a 1. Then I love this pick.
I think it matters if he can find the right times to be aggressive. Like in the playoffs, he's always aggressive when he was with Miami. But this year, it's a little bit different, right? Curry's gonna be the number 1 option.
Yeah.
Can he pick and choose his moments where we see playoff Jimmy Butler? So
Yeah, and I mean, for me, it's very crucial that this team does not have to go through the play-in.
100%. I think they'll avoid it considering the way they're playing.
Yeah.
But all right, my pick here is gonna be. I might be controversial, but at this point in his career, I think LeBron James is a Robin. The reality is he could still be Batman. But if Luka Doncic is not their best player in the playoffs, then they're probably not going to win the title. LeBron this year has been unbelievable, averaging 25, 8, and 8. We've never seen this in the entire sport, a man playing at this level at the age of 40. The reality is LeBron James needs to take a little bit of a step back and show up in the playoffs like he always does, pick and choose his moments, hit the big shot, be a playmaker, let Luka kind of do the majority of the scoring. But I'm telling you right now, if the Lakers get a good Luka Doncic and a good LeBron James, and they're both healthy come playoff time, they could win the title.
I don't think that's ridiculous.
I don't think that's
I don't think it's crazy, but I don't know if it's right.
Exactly. I thought I was thinking, like,
Like-
I don't think it's a ridiculous take, but I just don't see LeBron being the second guy
I feel like
on a
it's
team.
1A, 1B.
Well, he
and they're
is.
intertwinable.
That's the fact.
Exactly. I would
But
say.
I feel like Curry and Butler do. I don't know.
No one's looking at LeBron saying, oh, you can't be Batman. 100% he's going to be Batman in some games. But if Luka Doncic is not consistently their best player, at his age, considering where he is in his career, like LeBron is not going to be able to play 45 minutes and have 10 assists, 40 points, 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
Not every game,
but-
but Luka Doncic has to be at 30, 10 and 10 a night, hopefully, for the majority of the games, right? Even if it's not that, 27, 8 and 8. But Luka needs to play his best basketball. So if LeBron has an off night, and he obviously can't play as many minutes as they did when he was in Cleveland, where he was putting up those crazy numbers. But if he can do that, I think Lakers coming out the West.
Yeah, I
could see
I
it.
could see it. I could see it happening.
I really just want to see the Lakers and Nuggets
Yeah,
in a
that's
7-game
possible.
series.
I mean, and
I
you
wanna
saw the
see it
Lakers.
really
The
bad.
Lakers have been playing much better against the Nuggets.
What,
this time.
Lakers
They
4
have.
seed, Nuggets 3?
Well, this is the thing, though. Lakers 4 seed, Warriors 5. So we could be getting LeBron and Curry, another addition to that in the playoffs in the first round. which
Am
would
I
be
ridiculous for
fantastic.
just thinking the Lakers would run through the Warriors
They'd win. I think they'd win in
in
6.
a 7
I
game?
I think it's
honestly
6.
think
I
would
could
pick,
see it happen.
I would
I'd say
pick the
Lakers
Lakers
in
in
6.
5.
I would pick the Lakers.
I will pick the
in five.
Lakers in 6, to be honest.
I think Warriors defensively, I don't know if they can handle.
cannot.
With Luka,
No
LeBron,
way.
and even Jackson Hayes, which is crazy. When they had Jackson Hayes at the center, no one thought he was going to do anything. My point
Austin
is,
Reeves?
Luka
Austin
Doncic.
Reeves. Can we
Luka
just talk about
Doncic-
Austin Reeves, who's dropping
100%.
30 sometimes?
No, no one's ignoring AR, man. He's playing unbelievable. But Jackson Hayes somehow has a role now, which I never thought he'd have a.
Well,
he's a
Luka
lot
has
of
been doing that his whole
100%,
career.
yeah.
He
But-
gave Dwight Powell,
That's true.
Another lob
a
threat.
double-double every
Yeah.
Luka makes guys
Also,
like that.
I would say sometimes he can be a little bit sneaky, but Rui Hachimura can sometimes go off as well.
He has those games.
He's a
He
very
has those
good
games.
two-way
And
guy,
Dorian
too.
Finney-Smith can shoot the 3.
Yep.
I've been watching him. He's been very
Yeah,
good.
the Lakers
defender.
have a really
defender.
good
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like,
They have
we're-
a deep
situation
team,
going.
Yeah.
for sure.
I like them.
All right, moving on. We are going to talk about some teams who we might be panicking about. There's a lot of teams in the NBA right now. Some, have more momentum than the others. But let's see what team we got.
Right. Ooh,
So let's see. Are we not worried at all? Are we slightly panicking? Or are we pressing doomsday button? Like this is not going to end well.
I've always said about the Knicks, watching them this year, that I just don't see them making any impact in the playoffs. Like I said that they haven't, you see their record, they haven't been able to beat good teams.
Yeah.
I said it before. Also, they haven't beat the Celtics, they haven't beat the
Cavs,
the
Thunder.
Lakers, they haven't beat
Yeah,
any of those
just-
teams. The Sixers, for God's sakes, have been one of those
Beat the
teams.
Celtics, yeah.
Beat the
Well, I
Celtics.
promise I wasn't going to mention them. So
Yeah,
I'm not saying
but my point, that's why I'm trying to say, like, the fact that the Knicks can't do that
Yeah.
just shows me that they're fraudulent.
that. Yeah,
I'm not pressing the red button. I think I'm panicked. I mean,
Yeah, for
again,
sure.
when you think about it, you have the Cavs and Celtics at the top, and the Knicks are right there. But then you have the Pacers and the Pistons and
sure.
the Bucks. Like, I would take the Knicks over most of those teams besides the Cavs and Celtics from the depth.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I'll get that. I'll get that. I'll
It's
get
just
that.
a minute. It's the minute count that worries me tremendously.
100%.
If these guys are going to play 45 minutes a game, they're going to be done by the second
Not
round.
sustainable.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't
I
see
agree.
it.
I would say panicking a little.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but I'm sorry. I got to say, if the Knicks are fully healthy with Jalen Brunson, I saw what he did in the playoffs last year. They're beating Cleveland. Now, they won't beat Boston, but Knicks healthy with OG, Micheal, Jalen Brunson, Mitchell Robinson if he plays.
Well, actually, we'll see Cavs Knicks at 7 o'clock tonight. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say regular season don't matter.
It definitely does.
The Cavs are still fighting for the number 1
There's
seed.
a balance.
Four
there's
games
a
away
balance.
from it.
The Knicks
3.
are still fighting for seeding. Like every game
yeah.
at this point
That's fair.
matters.
That's fair.
I just feel like there's like 3 categories. It's like Cavs, Celtics
Yeah.
up there. Then it's like the Knicks, and then it's kind of like everyone else who can get to that tier of Knicks.
See, I feel
For
like the
me-
Celtics
for
are on
me,
their
the
own
tier
tier,
in
and
the-
then it's everybody else.
For me, the
I
tier
don't
in
know.
the
No, you can't
the-
say that because at the end of the day, Cleveland is the 1 seed.
Yeah.
for me,
Okay, but so were the Jazz and the Sixers a couple years ago, and look what happened.
Oh,
Second round
Lord.
exit.
Yeah, but again, not well constructed teams. You got to look at the Cavs are very well
Cavs are very well
constructed.
constructed.
Yeah.
Same as the Celtics.
We'll find out.
They're,
We'll find
they're,
out.
they're really well rounded.
Find out.
Yeah.
What do we
Alright.
got next?
Red button.
So,
Red button.
well,
Red
let's,
button.
red.
let's address it. They did fire Taylor Jenkins, right?
Yeah, I
Less than a week
still
ago.
don't
Still don't.
Red
understand.
don't
Yeah,
understand.
I don't
No one
get
does.
this.
Can someone explain that to
Well,
me?
so apparently reports came out John Morant was not happy with the offense because, I mean, when I watch the Grizzlies, it's a lot of ball movement, right? John Morant's not the typical star where he gets 25 shots a game. I think they want John
I don't
Morant to
want
be
John
that
Morant
guy.
No.
taking 25 shots a
Yeah.
game. with
John
all due
Morant wants
respect.
25 shots a game.
Well, he
I
needs
see
to
it.
learn that.
He can't shoot the 3 well.
His
Is it
jumper
crazy to
is
say I'd
so
rather have
broke.
Desmond Bain take 25 shots and John
Yes.
Morant?
I agree.
I actually agree
That's
with
not
that because
crazy.
he actually shoots the ball well.
Like,
John Morant doesn't.
I don't know what is going. I want to see Grizzlies Warriors again because I don't know what happened last night. I mean, I think John Morant may get fined, Buddy Hield may get fined
get
because all
suspended, we'll see.
the
I mean,
gun pointing, whatever
yeah.
John Morant does. It just feel like he does a lot of stuff that just isn't a typical
Yeah.
basketball player. At the end of the, I mean, he have some guys that you don't hear about much, but they can play.
Yeah.
Firing a coach almost
100%.
3/4 the way.
With like 2 weeks left in the season.
Like seriously, you have to play. Like the play-in starts in 2 weeks, and then it's playoffs.
Why now? Like, why don't you wait till the end of the season?
If they go out first round, then fire them.
Okay, I'm actually going to take a different approach here. Hear me out. I think that when you're the Grizzlies, you look at all the issues you've had this season, not really being able to compete with those upper tier teams in the West.
Yeah.
That's true.
Clearly, there was an issue with Taylor Jenkins, enough for them to make such a move with 2 weeks left in the season. So, when you look at the Grizzlies with Taylor Jenkins, what did you think of them?
Were
they going to compete in the West?
I don't think so, but I feel like it's an internal problem with the players. I don't.
I
it
could
could be
see
the
that.
coach in the locker room.
Might be ownership.
But
too,
also,
though.
I would say this, I'll be honest with you. Maybe this is just me, but I did not see them making the playoffs
Really?
before the season started.
Before the season.
I thought they were going
that's
to make
fine.
playoffs.
Let's not
easy.
forget though, 2 years ago, they were like the 2 seed in the West. Obviously, they lost in the first round. And I'm not saying Taylor Jenkins is going to win you a title.
Exactly.
But the reality is the Grizzlies have a good team.
Very good
But
team.
they have a lot of depth.
Triple J.
Exactly.
John Morant as
Desmond
the face of
Bain.
a franchise
Who can
is
hoop
becoming a problem.
John
I
Morant
think.
is not a number one option. I will say that with everything.
I think he is. He's just not an elite.
The talent.
Yeah.
I just
he
don't
has.
think his shot creation of what he does.
I've seen him.
He just needs to shoot better. That's the end of the
Well,
His talent
That's
is number
easier
one
said
option.
than done.
Yeah, exactly. His talent
Yeah.
is number one option.
He's not playing to his strengths right
Yeah, but
now.
that starting five's not bad. You have Morant.
not at all.
you have-
100%.
You have
Bain.
And that's why I
Triple J,
think
semi Aldama. Then you
Yeah.
have Jay, and then you have Edie, who's
Yeah.
not been bad.
No.
Yeah.
It's
Not
like
at all.
it's like you have the Twin Towers in the paint with two very big guys. And then,
100%.
But again, Bain will not shoot 25. I mean, maybe he shoots 25 to 30 shots, but he can take those. Again, John Morant, not the scorer he is.
Yeah.
All right, who we got last? Milwaukee. See, this is interesting because they have
Dame needs to get back quick.
Dame has to
Without
come
Dame,
back.
I'm hitting the red button because I don't think they can beat the Boston. They can't beat Cleveland. New York would be a tough series. They lost to Indiana last year, so I'm not really sure.
Bucks won the finals without Dame, though.
Well, and
I
what
think that's a
they get rid
different
of?
Giannis.
No
Yeah.
Drew Holiday, no Chris Middleton.
I agree.
I mean, they're not doing nothing.
Dame's scary come playoff time.
But he's hurt. He's got the blood clot.
I would say if Dame wasn't playing, hit the red button. But if he comes back, I'm not worried about it.
I've
I'm
read
slightly
things
panicked.
that said he could come back. It's
Either-
not a ACL where we know he's done. So I'm not going to hit the red button.
It's either he
Yeah.
comes back full or he just doesn't come back.
Because
at
what
all.
would the matchup be? The Knicks
Well,
first round?
Right now,
Bucks?
Milwaukee sits in 6. They play the Knicks first round. I don't know if the Knicks beat
with
them.
no Dame, I think that the Knicks will
And
take
also,
that easily.
That's a team that
I've
can
said
beat
about.
the
I've been
Knicks.
talking about the Knicks. I just don't think they're that good as we expect.
But look at this. Giannis can't shoot, right? And what has every team done against Giannis that's been able to beat him? They built the wall. You got Anunoby. You got Bridges. You have Mitchell Robinson. If you just build that wall with Giannis, I mean, I think they could
That's
take
why
that series.
that team is so
easily.
constructed, though. When
Yeah.
you have a 7'3" big man that can shoot over people, sometimes lights out.
takes
All
some
Giannis
bad
has
shots.
to do, if
He
Giannis
takes some bad
drives and he
shots.
gets it open, look, he's taking that. If he needs to kick, he'll kick, and he's got shooters around him. Dame in the
100%.
playoffs could drop 40, 50
If
on
Dame
nights.
plays, it's a tight series.
Yeah,
100%.
that game's
Yeah.
definitely series. Probably 7 games.
100%.
6, 7 games, probably.
All right. We all have some hot takes, some more relevant than others. But we'll start with Cam here. Cam, what's your hot take?
All right, so I look at the Rockets, right? I'm like, they're at the
This
2
was
seed.
one of mine.
They're at the 2 seed. I'm like, the Wolves are at 7.
Yep.
If the Wolves can beat
Cook.
If the Wolves can beat the Nuggets with Jokic, I know
Yep.
they didn't have Jamal Murray. Anthony Edwards playing his best. I think the Wolves can beat the Rockets.
I agree.
I think the Clippers can still
Literally
beat
right
the
here.
Rockets.
100%.
Oh, I agree.
I'm completely not sold on Rockets. Listen,
first round
I
exit.
love the team construction, what they're doing, and
Well,
I
maybe
believe,
not love.
I love
Could
it. I
tweak
think
it a
it's-
little bit.
Yeah, I
There's
feel
some
like
issues
there's a lot
there.
of guards, and I feel like
Yeah.
they don't have that. I mean, Amen's playing amazing.
They need a star forward. I agree with you.
I just think they
Yeah.
need one more because Jalen Green and Sengun are not number ones.
No.
I always look at teams and like, who's their number one? Like you look at
Yeah.
the Lakers, you have LeBron or Luke. There's a lot of teams that have a 1A and a 1B. The Rockets more have like a 2B and
Balance.
2A.
Yeah.
Like they're very balanced, but come playoff time, who's going to take the shots?
For
And I
sure.
just feel like if the Clippers or if the Wolves get there at 7 or the Clippers at 8 or the Clippers slide into 7, I just don't think the Rockets are going far.
Because the Timberwolves are a deep team.
they're very
When you
deep.
talk about depth with the Rockets, the Timberwolves are right there. But the difference is they have that Anthony Edwards guy to be their supernova.
Yeah.
Whereas the Rockets don't have that.
I love Jalen Green. I really do, and I love Sengun. Sengun, it's like a very 10% shade of Nikola Jokic of what he does some nights. It's not
Baby
Nikola
Jokic,
Jokic.
baby Jokic.
It's
Also-
little shades, but again, not another scoring option. Maybe
No.
they can prove me wrong.
100%.
Maybe they split it out, but I don't know.
Also, Also, they don't have that much. Look at the roster; they don't have much playoff experience.
Well,
Udoka's a good coach, though.
I was about to say, head coach can definitely offset a little bit of that, but as far as the X's and O's of playoff basketball, they very much lack that.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you got, Fernando?
We were talking about this team, and I'm gonna talk about them again. But I do think the Memphis Grizzlies will miss the playoffs.
Well,
Entirely? I don't think so.
No,
if
I'm
you look
saying
at it right now,
they will be in the play-in, but they will miss the playoffs after that.
What's the standard?
So they'll lose in the play-in?
Yeah, I say they will lose in the
they're
play-in.
tied for 7th right now with T-Wolves.
Because
so.
I just think the Wolves, the Timberwolves, or the Clippers will go over them, and Grizzlies will have to play in the play-in.
There's only a half.
And
game
I just don't see them getting there.
But do you really think that they would lose to a
like a trailblazer.
no Kyrie Mavs or
Well, this is the thing, though, right? If the Clippers jump them, Timberwolves jump them, right? They're gonna get in the 7-8 game. Even if they lose the first one, they could have OKC in the first round, which would be interesting. I feel like with John Moran against Shea. I mean, they're not gonna win that series.
I just think this team is. I just see this team is crumbling after they fired Taylor Jenkins. I just don't see
I
them.
just don't think it makes it. I don't think the problem was Taylor Jenkins.
I still
That's my
think it's
point
an
from
ownership and
earlier.
an internal problem.
I
with the
don't-
players.
yeah.
Let's look at the roster. Let's look at the remaining schedule. They will have to play the Heat still, the Pistons, the Timberwolves, the Nuggets, and the Mavericks team that's still fighting to make the play-in. So I just don't see them making the playoffs outright, having to go through the play-in.
Yeah.
And I just don't see them. I would take the Wolves, Clippers. Hell, I might even take the Mavs, to be honest.
No,
over the
that's
Grizzlies,
crazy.
to be
I
honest with you.
wish. With Kyrie.
Yeah,
To be honest,
Yeah.
I just
I don't know about that.
don't see this team getting it together.
Hey, without AD, the Mavs and the Grizzlies played about 2 weeks ago, and the Mavs hung in there for a little bit. So you never know.
That's what I'm saying. Like you never know.
You never know.
You never
All right, what do you got, Keaton?
So I was on the same page as Cam. I was going to talk about the Rockets and that Timberwolves matchup, but I'll shift to my other one that it's not really a hot take. We just discussed it. The Bucks without Dame. I don't want Giannis to have another early playoff exit. It's just getting NBA. There's guys that make the NBA better in the playoffs. Giannis is one of those guys. You can complain about run and dunk all you want, but Giannis is fun to watch. He's a great defender, and I really do fear that with no Dame, they don't have a counter move.
Fear the deer.
I agree
down.
with that.
Yeah,
Like-
you have to go to Kuzma for that.
Yeah,
scenario.
I don't
And
think
just
that's
don't
gonna
trust
work.
him.
Drop 40.
It's not gonna work.
No.
So it's not
right.
really a hot take, but
No, I mean I agree with that though.
get well soon, Dame.
100%.
Please.
But and then last but not least, bro, my take is not hot at all. I feel like, but LeBron wins his 5th ring and Finals MVP. If that happens, undisputed
okay.
go,
That was
undisputed
hot.
go.
Okay.
But
That's hot.
undisputed go.
That's a hot.
Undisputed go. I hate to say
I don't
it.
know if that's undisputed. Still,
I don't think it's undisputed.
Oh, come on.
No.
No.
But look, talking about the finals though. Talking about the finals. Let's do our quick takes. Dream finals
He moved
matchup.
on real quick.
Dream finals. Listen.
Actually, fine. I'll back
Dream
you up.
finals. Listen, we're talking finals.
I'll back
What
you
do
up
got?
here. I'm
All
a
right.
Cavs fan. I would love to see Lakers Cavs.
I would like that too.
I'd just
That's
like
fair.
to see LeBron play. Obviously,
Yeah.
his old team. Obviously, I grew up
That would be
just
really
a Cavs
fun.
fan because
Yeah.
of LeBron, and then he left, and I was kind of heartbroken. But that would be my dream as a Cavs fan.
Yeah, what do you got?
For me, it would be Lakers, Celtics.
100%.
Look, I understand. This will sound like crazy, but if this matchup happens, there's going to be so many headlines.
Yeah.
It would renew the rivalry in the finals for the first time since 2010. Luka Doncic would have another opportunity to get revenge on the team that
yeah.
beat him in
would
the
be crazy.
finals.
Yep.
We just talked. You said it. LeBron could go for the 5th ring and tie Michael Jordan, so we can actually have that
Jordan has
debate
6.
again.
Jordan is 6.
But his 5 are worth more. I'll say that. But it's okay. We continue. We continue. We move on.
But and then also the Lakers have 17 championships and the Celtics have 18.
18. Tie that up.
So again, the
Lot of
Lakers could
headlines.
tie it, or the Celtics could go by 2.
That'd be a
Yeah.
fire
What do
series.
you think?
So again, I'm gonna flaunt my
You take Mavericks.
dreaded Mavericks
Oh,
experience.
Oh,
No. Hear me out.
All right.
Gone through some horrendous things this NBA season. So I want to support my old guys. My dream matchup would be Lakers and Knicks. I want Luka versus Jalen Brunson. I
thought you
think
were going with Mavericks.
personally, well, absolutely not. No. You got West Coast, East Coast. And maybe if Nico Harrison wasn't responsible for the departure of Jalen Brunson, but he darn sure was responsible for Luka packing his bags to LA. So maybe Luka getting a ring would do him in, and the Mavs would say, "Hey, Nico, you can hit the road, dude. You
don't
said
think the
that
Mavs
you
fans
were about to
happy.
cook with this, and instead the guy you gave away just won a ring." So
I mean, I do think the Lakers. Everyone wants the Lakers. Like, I mean, and most likely in the Eastern
Luka
Conference.
LeBron is just so fun.
I know.
Yeah,
so fun.
yeah, like it's so fun to watch. Like
There's a lot of
Baby
and
go
they're-
and big go.
And they're definitely going to play, in my opinion, right? It's going to be one of 3 teams, I think, in the East. It's going to be the Cavs, Celtics, or Knicks, right? And you all said those matchups, and I think any of those matchups, it's going to be a really good finals. I mean,
I like how no one said the Thunder.
I was gonna say that. Like I feel bad for Thunder.
Well, he
They've
was
been one
talking
of the
about
best.
the East, but
No, I'm just saying like.
I mean, no one picked the Thunder to go, but who would we? I mean, Thunder Celtics would be fine. Thunder Cavs, like, I'm sorry, I'm not watching that. Like, I just don't have any interest. I
Actually,
just don't.
we could talk about. You can say the
one-
Warriors would
no,
be fun
that's
to
a,
watch.
That's a game of a lot of young stars. I'd like
Yeah, that's
that.
a 1-1 in the.
But
regular
nothing's going to be
season.
bigger than LeBron James, Luka Doncic getting traded mid-season
Yeah.
by the
yeah.
Mavericks. I mean, that would be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But all right, we'll see what we get this playoff season. But we thank you again for tuning in for 360 Sports, and we'll see you next time.